What's up, guys? I am about to transform my wild hair into these beautiful knotless jumbo braids. So right now I am just brushing out my hair. I actually washed it about a week ago and I just need to tame it a bit because I let it get all frizzy again after I blow dried it. But I am just putting some leave-in conditioner in. Now I am just brushing it out so that it's easier for me to part through and so that it's also easy for me to braid it once I am ready. So right now I am about to attempt to part this hair. I found parting was the most challenging part of this entire hairstyle. Parting is always a struggle for me, but I am just trying to do my best, especially at the back where it's kind of hard for me to see. I just kind of start grabbing my mirror and looking in the mirror that I have on my wall. So that's what I'm doing here. I am just trying to see if it's straight, and as you can tell, it really is not. I do this for a little while, start parting, but once you get the back parted, the rest kind of gets a bit easier. So here the back is parted straight, and I am moisturizing again because these braids are going to be in my hair for a little while, so I just want to make sure my hair is protected. Right here I'm just braiding these sections up. So at the very first row I have 2 sections, and then I'm going to do, I believe it's about 5 rows that I do with my hair. So this is the next row, and I am going to part this row into 5 sections. Once I get all my hair parted, here you can see I did this off camera because your girl was struggling trying to get all the sections perfect. So I have parted my hair. I have 2 sections in the first row and then 5 sections in the second and third row, and then at the very top of my head I have 4 sections. So next I am going to show you guys the braiding hair. So what I'm using is Braid Babe. This is 1B hair and it's quite long. I can't quite remember the length of this actually, but it's quite long hair and it is also pre-stretched. I'll put the information for the hair in the description box below. So I'm just pinning the rest of my braids out of the way so that I can start working at the braids on the very bottom first. So first step, I am going to start separating the hair. So it's easier to just separate everything from the beginning. I take each section and I separate it into 2, then I split it again into another 2, and finally I separate it one last time, just so that my sections are big enough but not too small. I kind of learned this at the very beginning. I think for the back of my head I actually did the braids a tad too small, so you may want to make your sections a little bit thicker than what I used, but I start to get a hang of it near the front, so I'll show you how I do it when I get to the front as well. But first you're going to take the section and put it between your pointing finger and your middle finger and just basically connect it with 2 strands of the braid, if that makes any sense. So start braiding at the very top, and then you have to, it's one of those things that's kind of hard to explain. You just kind of have to watch. So I'll do it a few times, and I use between 2 and 3 sections. So for here, I have already done quite a few sections and I've gotten the hang of the size that I like. So I'm going to show you how I do it again, moisturize my section, and also I use gel at the very root of my hair just to make sure that it stays down and it isn't all frizzy just right off the bat. You want it to last for at least a week or 2, even though I feel like these jumbo braids don't necessarily last as long as tighter braids, but you want to just do it as tight as you can and as sleek as you can so it will last. So again, you start braiding at the very top. So I would say maybe about 3 braids. Go like 3 times around, and then grab your piece of hair and put it between your middle finger and your forefinger, and then you just start continuing to braid. So you just kind of have to look and feel it out. You just kind of put it in and put it between your middle finger and your forefinger with 2 sections of your hair that you already have in your hand, and then continue to braid down. Just make sure that you're doing it tight enough so that it doesn't slip out right at the beginning, but once you start braiding, it will all be in there really tight, so you won't have to worry. But you just have to make sure that you're putting it in there really nice and secure right when you're first installing the extensions into your natural hair. So just keep braiding it down all the way to the bottom. And I'm starting to get happy because I am almost done. Braid it down all the way down to the bottom, and once I reached the bottom, I realized I didn't have enough rubber bands, but it's not really to be worried about because I also end up curling the ends, so that kind of helps to keep everything in place. Some people can burn the ends. I tried doing that for a few of them, and honestly, I was kind of worried that I was going to burn my hair. I'm not super experienced with that. I burned a little, and some of the hair just kind of started to fall out a little bit from the point that I burned it. So I said, you know what, this whole burning thing is not for me. Let me just curl the ends like I want to do anyways, and that actually worked perfectly. Just in case you don't have rubber bands, it would just be easier to get the rubber bands though if you have the foresight. I thought I had some and I didn't, but here I am going to show you again. You just have to braid a few braids first, and then put the hair in at your index finger, between your index finger and your middle finger, and then you're going to continue to braid down. Okay, so I'm on my very last braid, thank goodness, because I don't know why it took me a while to do this. I think just because I was trying to get my parts so perfect, and still my parts didn't end up perfect. But the good thing about this style is it really doesn't have to be super perfect. It does look good when the parts are nice and neat, but it is kind of challenging to get them all perfect at the back, especially if you are doing it by yourself and you don't have anyone to help you part at the back. But once you get them all done, once you get all the parts done, that is the easiest part. So I'm just finishing up my last braid here. And the next thing, you're going to take some hot boiling water. So I use some silk rollers, and just use some hot boiling water and wrap the ends of the hair around the rollers, and then dip them in. You can see the steam, it's super hot. So just be sure not to burn yourself. You want to have a towel handy so that you can let the hair dry and you do not burn yourself. So just be very careful with this. So see here, I did one side of the curls. Now I'm about to do the other side. So it looks so cute. I'm so happy how the curls came out. So you see here, I am taking out, I just finished dipping these in the boiling water, and I'm taking the rollers on this side out to see what they look like. And voila, it looks beautiful. I love the look with the curls at the ends. So I'm just going to continue to take these out, take the curls out on this side, and I will be right back. Okay, so all the curls are complete. I love how it's looking so far. Next, I am just going to clean up my edges a bit, as well as put some makeup on. But first, actually, I am going to put on some of this mousse. So this holding mousse, or a wrapping mousse, or whatever you want to call it, I'm going to throw this on there just to keep everything in place, kind of help with the flyaways a little bit. So just put as much as you want, throw it on there. I see a lot of women with braiding styles do this, and this is the first time trying it, but I can say that I think it really helped to lock in the braids and just really secure everything in place. So I am pretty happy with how it's turning out. And here I am with a little makeup on and my edges slicked down, and this is what the final look looks like. Super easy for beginners, super cute. This will definitely last me a week or two and I won't have to worry about my hair, but I'm super happy with this style. I will definitely be doing this hairstyle again.